Hello, I'm Leanne and I'm a book artist from the Pacific Northwest. So glad to have you here today. Today I'm going to be working on different projects that use napkins. These are the napkins that you get from your stores. This one here, I believe, came from Tuesday Morning. It's just a delightful print on there. And I'm going to be using it in this book that I'm going to be making. This is some fabric that I picked up just recently. This is going to be the spine and this is going to be the cover. And I thought this would be fabulous in it. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going right along with my list. Now I started this list in the beginning of the year. It's a 52-week challenge for 2021. Now, I'm actually on, let's see, I'm on number 16 and I should be on like number 25. So there's almost 10-week period here that I really haven't done anything. So I just want to do some explaining here for anyone that might have been following along. So for those of you that don't know, my son-in-law was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So during that time period, I was kind of focused on other things and putting my energy into other things. And so right now he's in Seattle getting some treatment. So anyway, I thought I would sit down here today and create something marvelous. So I hope you like it. I'm going to be going through my list, just try to catch up on the order that it is. And you know what? I gave myself permission to do that. It's all okay. We all have different seasons in our life, and that was a season right here. So just go with it. So wherever you're at in your crafting world, give yourself permission and go for it. So let's get going on this awesome napkin. So if you have never done one of these napkin projects, let me open it up and give you a little tip. So what you want to do, you want to remove there's usually multiple layers to a napkin. So this one comes off really well like that. There might be another layer there. I'm going to take a look. Normally those are really hard to remove. But what makes it a little bit easier is if you take a piece of tape. And so I'm going to go to one of the corners that hasn't been done and just kind of show you. You take a piece of tape there and usually it pulls away that layer so that you can pull it off. So I'm going to see if there's another layer though. Save this and we're going to be using that for another project. Although sometimes when I have that that layer, what I actually use it like a little washing up cloth, cleaning up my little scraps. So let's see right here. I'm going to put the tape on there and I'm just going to kind of play with it and see if there might be another layer. Sometimes layers, napkins have like 2 or 3 layers. Sometimes it's just the one. So I'm having a little bit harder time, so I think this one might just be the one. Oh, no, looks like there might be. Nope, there it goes. So the tape kind of holds it together. I got to get more at the top here. This one's a lot more difficult than that first layer. So I'm going to lose. See, there you go. I would have never known. It would have taken forever if I tried to do it without the tape, but the tape made it so much easier. So once again, I'm going to save that layer. So now we have this wonderful piece right here. I pulled out just a piece of one of the pages from a vintage book. This one's a vintage dictionary. And I'm going to start using it on this section of my cloth. Now, there's different adhesives that you can use. I should let you know. You can use like a school glue. You can use Mod Podge. That's what's in this is Mod Podge, and I'll probably be using that today. But you can also use like a glue stick. Glue sticks work great too. Keep in mind with the glue stick, they don't hold as long and as well. It's a great tool to use, particularly if you're going to be cutting and sewing on your paper. That's a fabulous choice. But if it's something that needs to hold on a little longer and you're not going to be sewing it, you might want to use one of the other adhesives. So this is just a little spongy thing. It was a leftover thing that came from something that I purchased. So I'm going to try using it as my paintbrush. You'll see what happens. Now you can use a paintbrush, an actual real thing. You can use a foam brush. I'm just going to try this. And what I want to do, I'm going to put a little piece under here so I don't get all over my paper and my other things stick. So what I want to do, I just want glue thinly placed all over my book paper. So that's got a nice layer there. That little thing is working out pretty well. So I've got the top half, so I'm going to go ahead and place this down and place it over my top half. And now as I'm placing it, this is what the beauty of these napkins is. You can see how the print is coming through. See the book print? It's coming through these white areas. So when you pick a napkin to use for your crafting like this, and you want to see what you're placing it underneath, you want to add a little more personality, pick a napkin that has some lighter areas like that so that it'll pick up the area right behind it. So let me go ahead and add some more now on this remainder area. The second half of my piece. I'm actually really liking this little sponge. I'm going to use more. I've got like, I don't know, 50 of them, I swear. And I thought, oh, they got to be useful for something. So I'm going to place that all the way down. Now, I can go and I can continue on with another page. Now this page here is something different that I got. It's at my thrift store, there's an area that they have foreign books. And this particular one is German. So I could put something like that behind it, and that would be really fun. So when you go to peek and look at it, you've got this whole different language that you're dealing with. You won't be able to read it at all. I like doing that with my books, finding a book with a foreign language, because then it doesn't take away, like you're not trying to read the print. You get the feel of the print, but you can't read and see what it's saying. So like, well, I guess you could if you knew that language, but I'm taking the chance that most people don't. And then I can put it down there. I also, so this one I'm doing in all over at once. I'm going to just place that close to the other one and then move my paper down. Perfect. So I can do all of this, or I can just do part of it. I can stop here if I wanted to. I'm going to I've got another page, so I'm just going to take this other page right here and put that on. Okay, gonna glue it up. So you know how you get things shipped and sometimes it has this foam in it? You might keep that in mind the next time you get something shipped to you and just kind of hold on to it. Use it as a paintbrush. Alright, I'm going to place this on there. Oh, and that was just perfect, the amount I glued up. Works out well. Now you might get little bubbles in your napkin. Don't worry about it. Just kind of smash it down. It adds kind of to the personality of it all. So let me see what I've got going here. So I'm going to try a different way now. This time I'm going to try taking the page from gluing it and then laying it down. Let's do that. Here is another dictionary page. So you don't want to have a ton of glue when you're putting it down. You know, you don't want to have big puddles. But you also don't want your glue to dry before it goes down. So you gotta work fast if you're doing fresh glue like this. That looks good. Okay, and now let's see how well I can put it down. Not bad. You could try both ways. I can see how this one might be a problem though, but just know that you've got that option. I'm going to leave this one plain so I can show you So I'm going to leave this one like this so I can cut it out and do another technique. So at this point I want to make sure I let it dry, and for my purposes I'm going to bring my heat gun. Okay, so that's nice and dry. For this book that I'm making, I'm going to be using these canvases. They're just little thin canvas blocks. I'm going to use them for my covers. So this is the size that my book's going to be. So whatever I make here, I want it to fit within the size of this book. So I might start out with this little birdie here. So I'm going to kind of frame it up and see what I want to do. I'm going to cut out just all within the lighter areas, I think. So let's see. So for this I can cut freeform, but what I'm going to try to do, I've got this little cutting set. I'm going to just see what happens with me using that. I'm going to put it right along the edge and cut off this area. This little scrappy side area. Make a nice cut. Now with that line, I'm going to put that line straight. Actually, I'm going to put it that way. I'm going to put this line, and you can do this on any type of, I could do it on this surface as well to get an idea. When I do that, because not everyone will have this cutting tool. This is a great little tool. We are memory keepers. So, get something that you have a straight line, whatever it is. If it's a book, if a piece of paper, find that straight line. Once you have that straight line, you can create another line. From another square piece. So let's say, so you can grab a piece of paper, but I have this right here with a nice straight edge, so I'm going to use that for my cutting edge. So I'm going to put that right there, right along the line, and I'm going to, you can either mark it with a pencil and then cut it out, but since I have this here, I'm just going to see if I can kind of go through it a little bit. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I was able to. So then with that, I want this bottom area. I don't want to include the apple, I think, because it draws too much to that. So I'm going to go up to here, find another straight line, and I'm going to cut that. So you can do the line with your piece of paper and then cut it with your scissors. Or if you have something like that. I just got this at the dollar store, by the way. Nothing fancy. And so for my last cut now, I'm going to bring it in. Bring it in over here for this side. So I'm going to go along this bottom line that I just cut, make it straight, and then cut. I'm not sure how far I went up, so I'm going to go about right there. So when you cut your napkin, you want to make sure that it really is dry. If it's not dry, you'll end up ripping through the napkin. It'll create these ugly, ugly bumpy rips. You won't be happy. Okay, so there's my first piece. So this will be a nice little tuck that I can put in there. What I think I will do is sew around it, but I'm going to have a back to it. Let's see what I want. There's a wonderful green backing. And I'm going to cut like this. Okay, so that's going to be layered right there. And what I want to do is I want to put some kind of word right here. Let me see if I have a word hanging out or if I can find a word on one of these pieces of paper. So I have this scrap that just happened to be kind of hanging out. Don't believe everything you think. So I could use that. Oh, I like this one. Never give up. It's perfect right there. So I'm going to cut this down. Actually, I'm going to rip this one. I think I would like the look of it being ripped. So I'm going to rip right around the words. And it's going to go right there. Never give up. Good attitude. So this is going to be sewn on here. So I'm just going to put a little glue right kind of in the middle so that I can secure it onto this. One thing I think I want to do is soften the corners, so I'm going to take my hole punch, not my hole punch, my little crocodile. I like the button there. I'm going to wait to put that on. I better go sew this and then go from there. I'll be right back. Okay, I have it sewn, and I'm going to put this little piece of lace at the top as a little pull tab. I'm going to use the Fabrifix. Okay, just a little peeking out there. And I will do more of this when I go to put it in the book, but my idea is, in the book I'm going to make a pocket out of netting. So I don't know what color I'm going to use. The book's not really orange tone, but I might use this one. I don't know, but it's just magical putting it in and out of that little. Maybe anyway, I'll do that when I hit the book, and I'll show you how then. So let me show you some other things to do with the napkins.